Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a playthrough for Ierusalem, Anno, Domini. This one is a highly unique theme. It is set during the historical event of the Last Supper of Jesus, as told to us in the 4 New Testament Gospels. Here is Jesus in the setting. He has just entered Jerusalem and is going to celebrate Passover and has called for one last meal, the Last Supper. Our role as players is that we are followers of Jesus. We are taking our contingent of followers, sending them out to gather resources, which are going to be offerings. We use those offerings to position ourselves as close to the historical Jesus as possible. The goal of the game is to have more of our followers in more advantageous spaces near Jesus. That's where a lot of the points are going to come from, and whoever can do that the best is going to win the game. Mechanically, this one is a card-driven affair. You are going to have your hand of cards. You're going to be playing them to your central tableau. You're going to be collecting sets. You're going to be executing actions in order to get our followers to the Last Supper as efficiently as possible. So for those who don't know, I happen to have a master's degree in theological studies and am a practicing Catholic Christian, so I have a lot to say about the thematic presentation here. I'll get into a little bit of that, let y'all know if this is an appropriate game for Christians and non-Christians, then get to an overview, and then a solo playthrough versus the Barabbas bot. So let's get into some promo and announcements, and then into Ierusalem, Anno, Domini solo playthrough. So I'm going to reserve a lot of my comments about the game's thematic presentation for the playthrough, but what I will say now is that I think the game does a huge favor to itself by focusing so narrowly on the event of the Last Supper and the action of the followers trying to get as close as possible. What I think this does is opens the game up to non-Christians and non-believers because it's an historical event. Any great personage in that era had dinners, and during that time there was a severe, savage competition to be as close to that person as possible. That indicated status, it indicated wealth, or led to wealth and power. So you have that event where you'd have a follower coming in here, and then one follower kind of bumped this person out, and then you'd have this massive jostling to try to get to as close to the person as possible, be accepted, and also be seen by the rest of the community. I do think there's a tendency to treat Jesus as unique in the history of the world. There was never a Son of God, and there hasn't been a Son of God since. However, what we believe as Christians is that Jesus was incarnate, made man, acted like any other man in the society, and in this particular case, amongst his followers, he was a great personage. And so there we are, jostling for connection with this historical great man, just as would happen in a lot of circumstances with other great personages. So by playing so much on the history, I think that does open it up to a wide variety of gamers to see what this one has to offer. All right, let's talk mechanisms. Here is the player board. Got the starting allotment of resources and followers in my warehouse. I start with game with 6 denarii, and most importantly, I got 5 cards. So there are a lot of different sections of this board. Each have their little rules, can be hard to track, but I appreciate that at the end of the day, what you come back to is on your turn, you're going to play a card into one of these areas, do their actions, top and bottom, and then, do some minor things and move on about your day. But most part, it is play a card, do actions, you're good. There are 5 action spaces which correspond to the symbols on the tops of the cards. So then playing the symbol will allow you to do that action. These 3 are resource gathering spaces. You can go to the desert to gather stone, the mountain to gather bread, and the lake to gather fish. In addition, you can manipulate what you got at the market, the Mahane, so then you can sell for resources, or you can buy resources pretty interchangeably as long as you have the means to do so. Or you can skip all that and buy a Mahane card, which is the upgraded card for the low price of 1 denarii. This is a quasi-deck builder in that you can buy cards to improve your hand. However, they don't stick around. When you play your card and you execute an apostle action, which I will get to, the Mahane card does go away. This space is the temple. That is how we get followers out to the different spaces. So going to the desert is cheap. Who wants to go there? Going to the lake is really nice. Lots of people want to go there. More expensive to distribute your followers, but that is how you empty the warehouse, because it is very important to note that warehouse space is limited. Because if I gather resources and I don't have space for them, then at the end of my turn, I got to discard down and make sure I can fit it all. So being able to manage all that, get those followers out there, make room for resources, very key. As I play cards and fire off actions, I'm going to be thinking about what I want to do, but also in the longer term of the game, I want to note these spaces. If I play cards in that particular order, so you're going to play cards, and then you play a card under it, then you play a card under it so that you see the symbols. If they can correspond to these areas, then I get to quote unquote visit an apostle. That, for the most part, organizes the scoring condition over here, because I'm going to be able to place an apostle where I want. Before I do that, though, I do the bottom action of the card. So it is top action, bottom action, apostle. That's the order. So if the top action is a location action, the bottom generally has to do with your followers. So that is how I deploy my followers and arrange them here in the Last Supper. The most common action is this one right here, which is the go to the Last Supper one. And you can see there's a whole bunch of them. You got them on the player right here. So then going to the Last Supper means I can take a follower that is on a location. Generally, you want to go from top to bottom and place them somewhere as long as I bring the right offering. So in order to place a follower, I'd have to bring an offering. I can't show up to dinner and expect to just walk in the door for nothing. So that would depend on where I place them. So if I place them here, I will consult the outer edge, and then this would cost 1 or 2 bread and 1 fish, etc. So I have a lot of options in terms of placement. There are icons that correspond to different actions I can take. I can go here, for example, and get the super advanced cards. They work like the main cards. They're great, and then you get rid of them when you fire off their action. Here you can go and get a denarii. Here, at this space, is how you get these snazzy parable tiles to talk about the parables from a thematic perspective as we get into the playthrough. But know that I will be able to get the top if I went there, or if the bot had kind of ninja'd it from me, and I'd be stuck with the bottom. It's worth less points. The more I get, the more they score. And finally, I can forego all actions, place my follower in the place of the neutral follower. So this is a crowd that is already there. They've preceded the other 2 factions. They are what they call friendly followers. You put that there, don't take an action, get this worker. On a future turn, I can use an action to place the worker and get majorities. So then if I placed it here, that would be worth 4 points. Or I can move them around, get points, kind of clustering them in order to maximize what they offer. That action is only available in the 2-player game and the solo. That is not what happens in the multiplayer, 3 and 4. So to reflect that, you get another set of starter cards. So in the 3 and 4-player games, this will be a deck of 10 cards with your color. Here it's black and white. In solo, you shuffle them together and you get that action available to you. After you do your follower action, if you have completed one of these conditions, you can place an apostle. So that doesn't happen immediately. You can keep your cards on there and wait once per turn in order to fire off an apostle. But for the most part, once you complete the set, that's open to you. So they don't belong to anybody. They are just basically organize the scoring over here. You can choose where they go, one of these 12 spaces. And they do an action now, and they also create conditions for endgame scoring. So I'll explain those actions as we go into the playthrough. No need to kind of bog that down now. But once that's there, and this is worth 6 points, and then scoring will happen at the end relative to who's behind there. So then this would be 6, 5, 4 points of scoring. Closer you are, the more you score. Getting those apostles is a point scoring event. There are actually 3 different ways to score points in this game. One is from immediate effects. One is from end of turn effects, like I showed with the apostles. Here is a special action that only fires off when you do the apostle action. So in this particular case, I got 7 points there total. I would score that. The cards mix between 1 and 3 for the starters. At the end of your turn, whether you went to the market or not, you do get a chance to purchase an upgraded card for 2 denarii. Will go directly into your hand. The main benefit there, you're going to have some extra points over there, some actions that might not be available to you, and they are worth more points when you score for those apostles. At the end of your turn, you draw to 5 cards if you need to. Remember, when you acquire cards, they go into your hands. You might always need to. And then you would face the dread Barabbas bot. In the lore, Barabbas was the other person who was on trial along with Jesus. And Pilate gave the crowd a choice, Jesus or Barabbas. It was Barabbas for various reasons. I guess in the game function, this will represent Barabbas trying to influence the Sanhedrin to get them released and not Jesus. The Barabbas deck is pretty easy to work. It'll tell you to do a thing, usually score it some points, depending on where its followers or your resources are. And then manipulate the Last Supper or score off the Last Supper in one way or another. Play, pass turn, go. It will also, at various points, move up the Sanhedrin marker. As it reveals these tiles, it will fire off an action. Now, in multiplayer, these are good. They represent more scoring opportunities. In solo, they're bad for you. That means that wherever it shows that it would wipe out all of your followers, the player, as well as the neutral follower, it doesn't affect its own followers, and place an apostle on its own, depending on its priority. So not something you want to do advance that Sanhedrin track in solo too much, unless you are confident and you just want to finish it off on your terms. Scoring is based on the position of the apostles. We will count up how many these parables that you have. Also, if you get these offering tiles, the offerings come from when you go into the Last Supper. You're able to take this. Don't take too many, or take as many as you think you can manage in your warehouse. Last bit of scoring, you get 5 points for this illumination tile if you can keep it throughout the game. But you might need to forego your turn, flip it over, and do one of those very powerful apostle actions. So if you're stuck, that's there for you. Otherwise, 5 points. That is all the scoring and an overview of the actions. I haven't talked about a lot of the actions. Look at all those symbols that I have not spoken about. Those will emerge as we go through the playthrough. It is time for the playthrough. First player is always the Barabbas bot. They're going to pull a card, and I got a little bit lucky here because the values are very low relative to what they could be. Depends on the game state. In this particular case, it's 1 per resource that I have in my area, which right now is 3. And in addition, it would score the largest cluster of followings for the quote-unquote black suit of non-player characters. So you have to decide at the beginning of the game, whatever non-player colors you choose. I chose black for blue and white for green. Black and black, remember that one. So there isn't any clusters because the game just started. So they get 1 point as and it will usually be me, make bigger clusters. Those will be worth bigger points, but just the 1 point for now. So 4 points total. In the solo game, the bot will race ahead, and you're going to try to do your best to score your points right behind it. That's 4 points right there. And finally, this is no good for me. It advances to Sanhedrin marker, 1 close to endgame. All right, so my first go, we are going to go to the mountains. That lets us do a couple of things. First of all, we get 2 bread for being in the mountains, and we get 1 fish, which is going to max out my current storage capacity. So I got to deal with that pretty soon. Also starts me off on the white track, and I get to move a friendly follower. So let's go ahead and grab any follower and start to make our majorities. Sure, why not? As good at, not actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll take that one. We'll put them here. That is going to get me 4 points. So as of turn 1, I'm right behind you, bot. And while I'm here, I'm going to end my turn and get this card. This is a really nice market card. Lets me call a follow or invite to the Last Supper and gets me a denarii, 4 points. All sorts of good stuff happening here. Let's see what I get for the new denarii card. Okay. This symbol lets me rearrange the cards, just in case you're wondering. You're not stuck with whatever you got. It's not easy to move, but you have to get that symbol to do it. That cost me 2 denarii. I'm down to 4. End of the turn, draw to 5 cards, but this card goes in my hand. I now have 5 cards in my hand, including that Mahane card. Pass turn. All right, Barabbas card. They're going to score 1 point per follower in the following areas: lake and mountain, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are up to 8 points. Get used to that. They score pretty much every round. And they're going to place one of their own followers from the location area, following the priority, cheapest to most expensive. Oh, and oh, by the way, I forgot to say that in setup. People are probably yelling at me in this camera. I do get an initial follow, which it doesn't say the bot does. So that does count for me as one free placement. That's definitely there in the multiplayer and there in the solo as well. So now that we've cleared that up, we check the card for the bot placement in their call to the Last Supper action. So be careful. The little piece on the bottom here is right there. So then some cards will come out like that, which is up there, but this one is right there. And so we'll put the follower in the next available space. The next card play, I can put that in any one of these 3 spots that I choose. I'm going to go ahead and put that here. That is going to be my Mahane card, the better market action. That puts me in contention here at the purple row of apostles. Just keep in mind, it has to be exact 3 cards. You can't fire off an apostle action with 4 cards, 3 of which are happen to fit the suit. No, 3 cards. So unless you have availability for this rearrange power, be really careful about where you place your cards. All right, so I'm at the market, and I am going to spend or exchange 3 bread. So that 3 bread is going back, and that 3 bread is going to get me 9 coins. I could do that as often as I want. I like having a lot of cash. I cannot choose to buy the discounted Mahane card because I changed resources. So that is the market location action. So then I'm going to take a follower from the desert with the invite to Last Supper action. I also get that extra denarii as well. So good. Lots of money there. And I'm going to place my apostle. I have some choices. So let's go ahead and place them here. So I only spend the 2 fish, so I only have 1 rock left in my tableau. And I get to pick out a parable. The parables go in order. Picking this gets me 1 point, which I will score, put me at 5 points. This is the Bonum Samaritanum. Liz is very mad at me right now. The Good Samaritan. Everyone knows the Good Samaritan parable, don't they? And that's a little bit of why I felt confident to sell that bread. I put that here, and the reward for starting to fill in this row is 1 bread. Feeling good about my resource management so far. So I have 14 denarii, which is huge in this game. Very hard to get money. So while I have it, enjoy it. So I am going to go to the deck. Oh, by the way, I did get a point for getting that parable. And let's go ahead and get this Mahane card. This is the call follower action. This one allows me to populate any space on the location board for free. I don't have to spend money at the temple to do so, which is really nice. And the new card is a lake card. I like the lake. Place a friendly follower, get a denarii. Oh, man. These are some of my favorite Mahane cards. There are worse ones in there, believe me. I like the ones that are coming out now. Barabbas goes. They are going to score 1 point per follower they have on the mountains and the desert, which is 3, putting them up to 11. And they get another follower. They have to pick from where they have the most followers in this tiebreaker order, so they're going to pick from the hills. And now we go to the other side. I don't like this. Barabbas is horning in on the front rows. I might have to do something about that.
You'll do nothing. I want to be seen with the Lord, our Savior.
Whoa there, buddy. Knives away. We're just having dinner here, right? Right? All right, another Mahane card. Let's go ahead and get ourselves to the lake, which gets us 3 points, and we can place one of these wherever we want for free. All right, action order is important. First, the location action, which is to get 2 fish, and then the points, which gets me from 5 to 8. And then I get to place a follower for free, not having to spend the 3 that I would normally have to spend in the temple. Couldn't do that before and get 3 fish. He just got there. Oh, sorry. I'm going to get as much fish as possible. I will be a fisher of men. While I'm here, the Barabbas bot is going to score for my resources again. I got 4. Caught me. I was about to spend them all. But before the bot does that, we are going to go to 15. And I got lucky with this again. The grouping is white, which is the green set, which is only 1 point, which brings them to 16. But they got their second Sanhedrin marker. Let's see what happens. They are going to crash out this set of followers, which is why I like to put my followers here, knowing the bot tiles a little bit. They tend to not target that so much. So now that I know they've cleared that out, it makes me a little bit more likely that I'm going to visit over there. They also place the white apostle according to the priority tracker. The priority tracker goes up, over and around, and so that would be right. I didn't show this last time. I did draw a card, a regular one, instead of buying one because I want to save my money for this big play. Let's go ahead and play that, continue that sequence towards the white apostles. The conversion rate is 1 per 1 in the desert and 2 per 1 in the mountains. The lake is already full because I had that one effect. So let us go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. We're going to spend 4. We still have 6 left, which is a really, really nice place to be. And fill us up 3 maximum at each location. Nice. I can now call pretty freely from any space that I want, which I'm going to do because this card lets me call a follower from right there. I don't know if this is the exact right thing to do, but it's there to do. So why not? Plus, if I make the investment, it will pay off. So I'm going to spend the 2 fish that I have. So my warehouse is looking real empty right now. So because it's looking so empty, I am going to take the offering tile that is going to occupy my board, giving me a point at the end of the game. So you'll see that when I show the player board again. And all right, so this parable is the parable of Seminator, the sower, which is a parable about teaching and preaching and spreading the good word and not always getting a good reception. Sometimes it's on rocky soil. Sometimes the seeds are on barren soil. It's kind of like making a concept for the one-stop co-op shop. Some people just won't like the game that I'm presenting. Some people won't like the way that I present the game. Some people don't like my voice. Some people think I'm too woke. Even though I've not done any woke things in months, I get a reputation. They say, nah, we're not going to listen to that content. Some people watch the content. They say, no, you're not playing it right. You're not playing the right rule. I'm going to put in the rules comment so I let you know how good I am at games. Every once in a while, though, you will get a comment that says, wow, Jason, thank you so much for showing me a game. You look like you had a lot of fun. This is what I'm going to look forward to in game night. So keep spreading those seeds. Every once in a while, you will get a good reception. People will appreciate you. Love the parable of the sower. Love it so much. Also gets me a point. Everything is awesome. Not going to draw from the Mahane deck. Instead, I'm going to draw from my personal deck. It will be a temple card that gets me a fish that might get played too. And time for the bot once again. They're going to get 1 point for every follower at the desert and hill. As you can see, there's 2. So let's go ahead and give the bot 2 up to 18. And they're going to call a follower, which is from the lake. So there are cards, I promise, that put followers back into the locations for the bot. Haven't gotten them yet. Sometimes I get really unlucky and get a lot of those early, so there's a ton of followers out there, but this is one of those games. And it is about time. They are going to go to the back. You see the little out thing there where my 2 are. Let's go ahead and put them there. They are going to trigger this symbol, which is the Sanhedrin symbol. The bot doesn't take any other actions, but they do take the listen to a parable and meeting of the Sanhedrin actions. All right, as you can see, my 5th turn of the game is going to be a lake action and move a follower. So now I qualify to put a white apostle out, but I want to hold off for just a second. There is the white apostle, hill, temple, lake. Their action is that I can swap the places of 2 different followers, at least for on the active player side. So I could swap this one and this one if I so chose, but I'm not going to do that right now. I have time. Instead, I'm just going to be happy taking my 3 fish because I got 3 followers out on the lake. Fishers of men, well, fishers of fish at least. And I get to move a follower. Let's break up the cluster over here, give the bot less chance to score, and move them right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for the good guys. But aren't we all good guys here? Aren't we all here to celebrate the Passover with our Lord Jesus of Nazareth? Yeah, we're here for that as long as you do that back there. No, must get closer. So I am going to buy my Mahane card. I have 8 money. I'm going to get myself down to 6. That's an interesting one, but I have a lot of lake right now. And in fact, I have 2 lake that are showing, so that can stay there. Boss not going to mess with it. Let's just buy from the top deck and see what happens. It is a hill. Ooh, have I seen this before? 3 spare actions? I'll take it. The bot is up to their usual shenanigans, this time with the lake and the desert, which actually helps me because they're not getting the followers out. They score for their followers. So let's go ahead and give them 2 points. And also, wow, they're going to take their last follower off of the desert. That's cool. Oh, the game giveth and taketh away. Unfortunately, they are going to put their marker there. You got to double check to make sure it is oriented the correct way. Yes, the bottom there, the bottom there. They're going to put their worker there, and they are going to advance the Sanhedrin marker along the way. Let's see what happens to all those poor followers. Okay, I was hoping that to avoid getting that part obliterated. Instead, it takes away these followers. Of course, it doesn't take away its own followers. These guys are ratting out,
The coast is clear. Come.
and the last thing that happens is they are going to place a orange, which is Nathaniel. Nathaniel is going to go in the next seat of priority. So I had a different plan, but we are going to adjust because this card is too good. Hill completes the set for the purple, and I go to the mountain. At the mountain, I get 3 bread, and I got plenty of space for them. As part of that card, I get to visit 2 more locations. We're going to hop to it over here, and we are going to go to the market. The market, I'm going to sell 2 of my bread for another 6. I haven't had this much money in a game. Wow, this is all coming together. Great. And I spend 1 of my now 12 down to 11 to get a follower, the last follower that I can place out on the area right there. I was wondering when I was going to get to that. That card was so sweet, helps me out. So the follower gets there, they'll say, I will mine rocks for the rabbi all day if I have to. No, my child, you are set for a greater destiny. Really? Because I'm able to do my first apostle action. So let's go ahead and match up this row to the purples. We are going to bring Doubting Thomas. No doubt, no more Thomas. You are definitely going to be right there. And I get to fire off their action, which is invite someone to the Last Supper. Normally, they have to present an offering, but when they're invited, they don't have to get anything. You're inviting me? What have I done? The last among you shall be first, my child. Be seated near me at my right hand. Oh, gold, frankincense, myrrh, you shall have it all.
Hey, what was that for? Why'd I get kicked out? Jesus!
So the reason I did or placed the apostle here is because we already got a Sanhedrin tile that cleared out this area. So there are more, but there's less likely of a chance. And this is super cool. These were all Mahane cards. So 4, 4, 4 is 12. We score those right now. Going from 15 to 27. Yes! I mean, thank you, Lord Jesus. I know those Mahane cards treated me so well, but let me go ahead and just draw. And I'm hoping to get a temple action so I can start on the orange, but I don't have that just yet. So I could top deck another one. I do have enough money, but I'm going to go ahead and draw instead. And okay, I got that market action so I can get another row started. And oh, by the way, when I put that follower there, because I have plenty of space, that was the benefit of holding back a little bit and getting all those apostles out. I'm going to start filling my area with offering tokens. All right, so this is where the game mocks me a little bit. Shouldn't be stockpiling so many resources now, shouldn't I? Bot gets 6 points. So they are right on my tuchus, as it were. And they are going to move a follower. So they're going to move them up here, which could be dangerous because I have that 6. And I want to fill that in so the bot can, so I can block the bot. So, but the rules specifically say that the bot does not take that follower, the one that is in this row. They don't take it automatically to the biggest group. They just go to the next adjacent that makes a group. So instead of scoring the 7, it scores the 2. Kind of did it on purpose, but now it is a premium. I need to put a follower here. The next time the bot does that, they are going to put the blue in this cluster. And so I just got a market card, and we are going to play that right now. And this action is to place a friendly follower. There you are. And so at the market, I was supposed to doing the resource exchange, which I'm fairly happy with my resources despite what the bot just did. Instead, I'm going to buy a card for 1. Let's go ahead and buy this Great Lake card now that I've spent the lake cards that I already have. Let's see, I'll go ahead and replace that. This is Mahane and Advancing the Sanhedrin. Oh, man, rough one in solo at least, but it does have its uses, so I'll keep it out there. And so that follower is going to get placed right there. Don't like that I'm not prioritizing my own followers, the yellow tribe, but this is what my Lord and Savior wants. So he will favor me from going to 27 to 34 points. I have faith in you. Like Job, I hope that my sacrifice now results in favor at your appointed time. All right, so here we go. This is where the bot finally gets to place out their figures. And I have a feeling I'm going to get a couple of these in a row. So let's see what happens. So they are going to do it one at a time. They're going to prioritize top to bottom. And so you do it again, once again, prioritizing top to bottom because you put it where there are the least amount of figures. And so we're going to load up here in the desert. They also move a follower in the bottom section. Now I'm getting pretty lucky with this. They haven't, I'm lucky and or also planning a little bit. So they haven't really shook the world with their placements, but they're going to take the one from here, which is there, and then I go here, nothing, and then they're going to go down. The next adjacent is right there. If anybody else knows exactly how this works, I think I know, but I'm open to being corrected if anyone else knows a different way to do that. But for now, the bot gets 2 points out of that move, bringing them to 30. All right, my go. I've been thinking about this. This game does make you think in terms of the patterns that you have to make here. You have to do a lot at once. So I have decided to break the pattern. So far, every card play has kept with the pattern of the apostles. This one breaks it. It would normally be Market Lake Hill, but I'm going to put Hill here instead. And I am going to fill up my warehouse, at least temporarily. So the order of operations obtains. I have to be able to fit all the resources in my warehouse, which right now I can. I do get an action over here, which is going to be call a follower to the Last Supper. So I'm going to spend some resources to get more folks over there. Let's go ahead and spend 2 bread and 2 fish, emptying up my storehouse nice and okay. We're going to call you. Oh, it's not only one person. There's more of us. We are welcome. And that is going to be to take this follower out. Get everybody nice and close to Jesus. Jesus. And so the plan, I'm going to go down from 10 to 8 money, and we are going to buy this one. That was sitting there in reserve. This is a reorder card. So whenever I want to, this is reorder every one of those cards. So I can make a couple of wrong, quote unquote wrong, or misplaced placements, and then fix that with this card, which I'm going to hold in reserve. And let's see what I get out of the Mahane deck. Another one. Fantastic. And so this is a little bit of a risk because I am up against it. However, I like points. So we have 1 more offering in there, which is going to make 4. Let's go ahead and show those victory points. I have 1, 2, 3 spaces left in my warehouse. All right, bot, back to your old shenanigans. You get 1 point for followers in the desert and the hills, which is currently 3, bringing the bot from 30 to 33. Next thing they do is they're going to take a follower from the desert. So they have 1 in all 3 areas right now. And they are going to put their follower on the top section. See right there in the middle row, the first open space. They do not get friendly followers. So they are going to break some adjacency by going there. Excuse me, Jesus, excuse me. And finally, they are on the board with parables. Haven't gotten one of those. There's more than a few in the deck. And they also haven't landed on any of the open spaces. I don't think I've let them land on them, but that's okay. They get their first parable, the Good Samaritan. No points for you. All right, let's go ahead and go to the temple. And we are going to get a fish. And this symbol is to move a friendly follower. First, the temple. 3 gold is all but 1 apostle. There you go. And I get 1 fish. And so this is a little bit of a risk, but I'm going to open this up to try to get a little bit more scoring. Also gives me a chance to get another parable. Let's start a new cluster of this color, green. Cover that up. Nobody needs to see or hear from that. And actually, you know what? Because I have something over there might be some point scoring. Let's put them over here and score me 3 points. 3 points gets me from 34 to 37. So if I'm not careful, I'm going to run out of money. I'm down to 5. Let's go ahead and draw from this deck. I got a market card. Ooh, a card that gives me a Mahane, but boo, a card that advances the Sanhedrin. Use cautiously. All right, so this is something I need to be careful for. First of all, I'm not going to move the camera every single time I do this. They have 2 followers, so they're going to get 2 points. They go up to 35. I'm currently at 37. Here is the kicker, though. This is at the top row. They are going to call a follower. They're going to call them away from the desert. The desert is now empty. Man, the bot really having a hard time getting those followers out. But we're going to jostle. Go, oh, wait, get in there. Ow, your elbow, that's so sharp. I'm a meeple, of course I'm sharp. Ow. All right, Jesus, heal me. I'm not going to heal a meeple shot. Just go ahead and suck it up. I'm kidding, be healed. And so at the end of the game, the bot is going to score that 5 points for being right behind Nathaniel. So that is the bad side. I need to start filling these in, or else I'm just going to be giving the bot free points. So let's do it. We're going to do a lake action. Let's get 3 fish. And doing a pretty good job with my warehouse, getting those apostles or followers out of there. Yeah, this thing smells like rotten fish. So you probably don't want to be there. You, take care of everything. Yes, Jesus. Wait, you're not Jesus. I want to go to the Last Supper. Too bad. Wait your turn. The last among you shall be first. Fine. So let us spend 2 bread and one of the fish that I just acquired. I'm going to take one of the followers from the desert and bring them here. Ow! You have a really sharp elbow. We all have sharp elbows. We're the same shape. Sigh. At least I'm close to my Lord. Let's draw a card from my deck. Play a little bit conservatively. That is another market card. Ooh, and some stone. Haven't got too much stone. Okay. The Barabbas bot says, where are the followers? Here are the followers. We get 2, just like in the previous time that I did it. They are going to put both into the desert, and they're going to hope to chain that. They've played with a pretty light complement here so far. And they are going to move a follower in this bottom section. So they're not going to create anything new. That actually just breaks this set. And I believe the placement, the priority is kind of moving down. So that does keep them together and scores the bot 3 points. Once again, if anybody has any insight as to the exact way that this should score, then let me know. Otherwise, this is what I'm going with. I like the look of that stone. I don't like the look of that 1, but that's the deal. If you get a resource, then they're going to nerf you on the points that you get. At least I keep my set together. So let's go ahead and grab a stone while I am here. And let's do the market action. Technically, the market action happens before that, but I don't have to worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and sell 1 fish for 4 coins at the market. And I get to call a follow, which is going to be from the hills. Let's go 2 stone, which is why I wanted that stone, and a fish to go right there, which will get me a 33 AD card. These are a little bit more powerful. They do advance the Sanhedrin marker, but this is usually worth it. This is switch followers. So it's the same power as that white. When I place it, I can switch 2 followers. Nice to have. Also needed the hill. That worked out for me. So this area is getting super crowded, but I think I am ready. This is a white apostle action, and that will get me 7 points. 7 points brings me from 37 to 44. I get to place a white apostle right there. That enables me to perform a swap. That swap is going to be... Actually, you know what? Let's do it here and do this swap. Let's get you out of there. That is a 2-point swing. I just took 2 points from the bot and gave it to myself. Bam. The bot is going to go, and I knew it. They have more of that. Where that came from, they are going to place 2 followers, and now they're going to get themselves back up to 2 and score a little bit more significantly for having so many followers out there. So I'm getting fairly lucky with the placement of the friendly followers that the bot is doing, because according to the area, this is the one that is placed, and then you would look down, and then it would wrap around and go next to the first available grouping, which is right there. So I have this boxed in a little bit. It's hard for the bot to get here, although if they had gotten... well, actually, it is. I kind of made it hard for the bot to get here. I'm brilliant. They get 2 points, bringing them to 40. All right, call more followers, get more stuff, and complete another apostle roll, this time for the orange, but I'm not ready for them right now. So first, let's go get the 2 bread. Then, let's call a follower. Unfortunately, I have to break this really sweet getup at the fishery. We were having such a great time. We were fishing so many people, but it is time for dinner. Ding, 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 ding. Speaking of fish, let's go ahead and sell 3 of those fish, or offer 3 of those fish, so that we can listen to a parable. So there is a limitation in terms of the parables. You need as many followers in the Last Supper area in order to take that many parable. So then if I want to take this 3rd parable, then I would have to have 3 followers. But as you can see, it's not that big a deal. At least in solo, I'm able to get my guys out there in a good fashion. So this is Thesauro Abscondito, which is the parable of the hidden treasure. Now, this is one of those that is very inconvenient to Christians because, you know, the kingdom of heaven is like a hidden treasure. The man found it, but it is on land that is not his. So he has to sell everything that he has in order to acquire this new treasure. So we don't like to talk about giving up stuff in order to get stuff. But that is the Christian message. If you want the absolute best, the absolute pearl of the kingdom of heaven, it does require giving up all that you have. And talk about unthematic. I get to place it and not have to give up anything. As a matter of fact, I get a fish bag. That's why I got it. Yeah. And I think I can afford it. I'm going to go down from 9 to 7 and buy a top deck Mahane card because I don't love what's out there, at least for my current setup. It is a Mahane card and a placement, not an advancement of the Sanhedrin marker. I will absolutely take that. And so, oh boy, I had a feeling that the bot was going to play more followers, Not quite thematically appropriate song, but you get the idea. The bot is going to score the largest group of the assigned color white, which is green. That's 3. So then they're going to move up there, and they are going to move the Sanhedrin marker. Finally, the bot is getting going. The 3 call followers in a row will do that. So let's begin another row at the white, which is going to start with the Hill card. That is the 33 AD card that I got, that sweet one worth 4 points. Let's go ahead and get a stone. And I collect from the Hill. I have 2 followers there, so that is 2. Wow, I have a lot of resources there. That's a lot of points for the bot. I need to not do that. How did that happen? So I get to change places, which means move one of my people to another empty spot and use the action on that spot, which is really nice. And so let's do some combo. Move that one out of the way, open up their parable spot, move them here. With that action, I can do that action, the new action that I've placed, which is going to be another 33 AD card. Let's see what I get. Woohoo! Have invite a follower for free. Spend no resources, put them wherever I want. That's super nice. Lakeside got, oh man, these third 3D cards are smoking. Love it. I knew it. I knew it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points for the bot. What am I doing? That was horrible. I need to spend these. Go to the market, spend them all. Get that. Turn that into money, young man. I am, however, getting lucky with the followers, and the bot is not able to get themselves going, making a bigger group of followers. So, once again, they take from the left side. That's total luck. And they are going to take the green and put that there. They're going to make another group, or the same group. They're just kind of jostling around, try to see. I'm in the corner over here. I can't see him. Is he long hair, short hair? What do the stories say? What do they look like? What does Jesus look like up there? Too bad. You're going to be stuck back there. Stuck back there. At least I got 2 more points. All right. I wasn't going to do this, but I got to spend some of these resources. And I'm full up on market. I could play another market, but that would mess up what I got going on. So let's work it out. Okay, first of all, I get a Mahane card for free. I'm going to top deck a card, and that is going to be a late card that is to, that is calling a follower. So this last follower, see, here's your ticket. Eventually, when I play, you're going to go out there. Please, this place stinks. Moldy bread, stale fish. What kind of offerings are these? Shh. I'm hoping Jesus turns bread to wine and saves this mess. Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut. So suffice to say, I'm actually going to forego the action. You don't have to take the action, the location action, so I don't have to. I only have one guy left here, and I have a plan for him, so don't have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and take a follower out. We have 1 or 2 bread and 1 fish for that. Follower is going to come from the desert, and they are going to go here, starting to consolidate my positions. I'm getting closer and closer to the end game. Even if the bot isn't pushing the Sanhedrin pieces, they are going to start very, very quickly. And so let's do some scoring. So I have that I had set up from a couple of turns before. I'm going to get 5 points out of that, which isn't the most sexy, but that is the orange, which is worth 5 points. That is Brother John. And I'm going to put them there with the power of the orange that they're going to score everybody who is next to them. You notice this guy was floating there? Well, he was waiting. He's going to score twice. Once now, once at the end of the game. So we are going to get what that is worth 5. That's worth 5, 10, 14 points. And the bot is going to get 3 points for being stuck back there. So 3 points for the bot, 14 brings us to even. And so 1 more offering tile. Managed this really well. Probably the best that I've managed this in a couple of games that I've played. This is a real important part. The first couple of times I played, this was a problem. So get good at this. Got my 5 cards. A lot of late cards, but I got something to do with those. And here we go. The bot is going to make their move. So this is at the desert and the lake, which is 5 points as opposed to the 2 they've been getting, bringing them from 57 to 62. They are going to take one of their followers and put them there, which is a scoring position, which is unfortunate for me, and move the Sanhedrin marker twice. How'd that happen? So with this corner and all of these, all corner spaces are move the Sanhedrin marker. So that's going to be right there, and they are going to wipe out. This is supposed to be the Last Supper. Why are things getting wiped out? Oh, well. So they're going to take out, man, I can't say that in a nice way. Kick out, disinvite, something. All these are going to go to another Last Supper. There's somewhere hotter to be, apparently. And while I'm here, they're going to move the Sanhedrin marker another space. Finally, the bot is really starting to get going. And so they take the white. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to do something with that. And they are going to break up all of these markers, except for their own. They don't go anywhere. But that is going to be a whole new opportunity for people to join, do actions, etc. All right, so I've been saving you. We are going to do the 33 AD lake action. So that's going to be 2 fish for my 2 fishermen there and another fish, making 3, which I just so happen to have space for. Fantastic. Just enough space. This is not going to alleviate it. This is call a follower and place them for free because they are invited. So the follower is going to come from the hills, and they are going to go get another parable. Since this opened up, I was hopeful that would happen. This also is worth 6 points. And going deeper into the parable row is good because that's my 4th parable. That's a nice jump from 6 to 10. And let's see what we are going to hear about. Nuptiarum invitatus. This is the admonition for humility. If you get invited to a wedding, don't just show up and take pride of place. You might have the host say, I don't want you in that pride of place. I got somebody else that I want in there. Think of the embarrassment. Think of the disgrace. Instead, be nice and humble. Go to a nice lowly place, maybe even the kids' table. I love going to the kids' table, talk to people, get to know them, and maybe impress people with their humility, which is kind of counterintuitive. Impress people with your humility. Y'all get the idea. Be humble. The last part of that card is to move up the Sanhedrin marker, which might actually do something to me. Yes, it does. Woo-hoo-hoo! It does. Sure, it does. So it's actually going to take out these 2 followers. So they are actually going to get kicked back into my warehouse, which is terrible news, which means I have to get rid of some resources. I should have thought about that. Darn it. Maybe I can do something to help that. And also get rid of these followers as well. So the Last Supper went from a giant social gathering to what? Darn Sanhedrin ruining the Last Supper again. And they are going to take this apostle and place them. Which apostle is this? This is all really important. James, brother of John, right there. So unfortunately, I have to make room. So I have to discard the 2 cheapest, which is the stone. Oh, we're back. Hopefully we can go back out to the Last Supper one day. That was magical. Tell me about it. I can't believe I've been stuck here the whole time. All right, I want to score, so let's go ahead, spend 2, down from 7 to 5, Mahane, and top deck 1, we get a market card with I believe that is the place a friendly follow, which I have, and also a free temple, or a free temple action. The temple action I might need, because now I have followers to place again. All right, bot is up to their old tricks. They're going to score for the desert and the lake, which is 4 currently. Bringing them from 62 to 66. And they are going to take a follower, the follower that was at the hill, and place it at the first available spot over here. Hopefully no apostle shows up there. Or Judas. That'd be a great place for Judas. All right. Let's go to Temple with this Mahane card, one I bought turns and turns and turns ago. So that is going to place my marker from 57 to 60. There you are, right in the frame. For that, let's go ahead. I'm doing this a little bit out of order, but it doesn't really matter in terms of the actual flow of the game. We're going to spend 1 and get 1 of my followers out to the desert. And here's the big thing. We get to reorder stuff, which in this particular case, the only thing I need to reorder is that. Now I am eligible to do the purple apostle action. And that is exactly what's going to happen. We got 3, 3, 3, which makes 9. So 62, 69. Dude, that's highly inappropriate for my Last Supper. Sorry, Lord. And so let's go ahead and take that follower that I just sent out to the desert. No, don't go left. Go into the city. Into the city? Do you mean it? Yes, I've returned. And I'm here to hear another tale. The tale of Prodigius Filio, the prodigal son. That's me. That story's about me. I feel seen. I'm the prodigal son. I left, but now I have returned. And so the prodigal son will go and place their tile over here, which is the call the followers action. And so they're going to get their prodigal brother back out on the scene. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you. And with that action, since it's free, I don't have any limitation. I don't have to place it in an area like the bot has to. So we're just going to go ahead and go straight to the top, put my 3 musketeers back together at the lake. All right, so we're getting pretty close to the end game over here, but I don't have a ton of money left, as you can see. Let's just go ahead and draw a card. I needed a 1-pointer is not good, but at least it is a desert, which is good. The bot is up to their 4-point scoring again for the hill and the lake, bringing them to 70. And they are going to get a follower. So that is right there where they're going to place this follower. They're really starting to crowd into areas. That's the bottom row right there. Ooh! Hoo-hoo! That is not a great place for them at all. They're behind this apostle, which scores 6 points. Ooh, we're going to have to do something about that. And they finally get on the ball with their parable game. I've had games where they go way deeper into the parables. There's still a bunch of cards in this Barabbas deck. At least 3 or 4 of them are going to give them parables. So that is for them. That's 0 points on the placement. I know I skipped a couple of turns where I should have gotten 1 point for taking parables. I gave myself credit for what I was missing. All right, so let's place this card, which is a Mahane card, which I'm hopefully going to set up a nice score right there. That is the market, and that is sell some stuff. Please, get out of here. I'm going to sell 2 bread and a stone. The stone is 2. The breads are 3, so that's going to get me 8, which is pretty cool. So there is my 8 denarii. And I'm going to forego the market action. I only have the one guy here anyway. You stay right there. No. And that does let me place this follower, which is not nearly as exciting as it was, but it is something that is 3 points, bringing me to 74. The bot has 3 in the desert and the lake distributed, so that is 3 points for them. They're also going to call followers. Man, they get people invited to the Last Supper all the time. I can't do anything about it. They are going to appear at, going to prioritize that top row. This entire thing is full, so they wrap around and go to the second one. You see how the bot sneaks their guys in there. They have a lot of people that are in scoring positions. And they're going to move their Sanhedrin marker 1 more up. They're getting close to the end. Speaking of getting close to the end, got to prioritize completing those sets. I've been doing those the entire time, but time not to get cute. As many people as I can get out there as possible. So that is 1 stone and 1 bread. I may have miscalculated putting the guys here because I didn't have any fish. Oh well, got a lot going on. I am going to spend those 3 fish, my last 3 fish. Actually, no, we're going to go 2 fish and 2 bread to surround Jesus. You may have the outer corners, but I have the ear of the man himself. I can project to the whole room. Darn it! And so let's do an apostle action. This one is in that middle row, and that is going to be Judas. It doesn't matter that he's stuck in the back row. I stuck them back there for a reason. And let's go ahead and put you there and inflict 5 negative points upon you. Why am I sitting next to that guy? Pfft, give the other player all your money. Okay, I asked 5 denarii. I don't want to get kicked out. I'm sorry, Judas. I'm sorry. So even though they got their followers out late, this last one ensures they will place their last follower in their reserve. So that is going to go here in the desert. Now you know we're hitting the end game. And we are going to pull a follower from the bottom and create an adjacency. So that will be 2 points for the bot. Nip tuck. And now I just have a ton of money. I probably went too far into money. I consider it PTSD from the last time I played this thing. So I might as well just buy Mahane cards. We're going to go ahead and top deck this one. A desert. Might use that. Oh, a parable. I still need parables. We'll see if I can play that one. All right, bot goes. They have no more followers, so they don't do this action. But they score the blue, which is 3. That brings them to 78. And they are going to move this Sanhedrin marker up 1, which is going to be that bunch right there. They do take out one of mine, which I'm not happy about at all. But that could have been a lot worse. Oh, well. They also would place Judas, but I've already placed Judas at a place of disadvantage to them. So I'm happy I did that. All right, so I probably only have 3 or 4 card plays left. Time for the big guns. So this one isn't going to get me closer to anything, but it does get me 1 stone, because I have the 1 follower there, and most importantly, a parable. And so, as a city boy, I don't know much about mustard seeds. I just know that they're really small and annoying, but they grow to a really, really big size. So, put in your metaphor from there. And I also get a denarius, which at this point is worthless. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the 2 because at this point, just buy out the Mahani deck. And let's go ahead and top deck this one. There's only 2 cards left. They're both summon followers, which I need. This one is a hill. I'll take it. The bot gets to go. They score for the lake and the hill, which brings them up 3. And they're going to take another follower. Man, they've been hammering that action. And so they are going to go in the bottom row, right behind this character. Oh, that is devastating. That's such a lucrative place in front of a 6, scoring 6 points. Boo. So it doesn't really matter where I place this at this point. Let's go ahead and get that hill that I had just gotten. That's going to get me 1 bread, and it will allow me to call a follower out to the Last Supper. I'm going to spend 2, basically all of my resources, 2 stone and 1 bread. And place my character there right behind Judas. What? He stinks. What are you doing here? You'll see. I get the 33 AD card, which is going to be points. Oh, perfect. Nice. Get to place another follower, probably next turn. And I've been saving this. This is 3, which is going to let me place the white colored apostle and also score me 10 points. I'm at 84 following the taking of the parable tile. Sorry, I haven't been doing that in real time, but I'm caught up, and that brings me up to 94. I placed the white apostle. Doesn't really matter where, but the key thing is get out of here. We are going to switch you and get you over to Judas. What? I love when I have listeners from one family. My poisonous betrayal has lots of rooms to seep out. Why I made Judas from Slytherin, I have no idea. So they're starting to dry up on points. We got Hill and Lake for 2 points. We're also going to place another follower and get a parable tile. Okay, this is some dirty pool because they are going to go up and they are going to place them right here. The first available spot, but at least I'm ahead of them as far as that goes. They're also going to get their parable tile, which doesn't score them anything, but does progress them in their endgame points. All right, so we are going to play that card that I just got. I don't have any real hope of comboing that efficiently, but that does get me a stone. That's not the important part. The important part, I forego this action. Don't need to worry about it. Wait a minute. I don't forego the action. I'm going to spend 1 and put you out there. Sure, why not? Because you're going to be the one with that invited to Last Supper action to listen to the last parable. Made it to the end of the track, ladies and gentlemen. And how fitting that this is the last parable per Dutis Ovis, the lost sheep. So basically, so the parable is that, if you have 100 sheep and one goes, you're going to go after that one sheep because you want to keep the herd together. So why is this perfect? We are the one-stop co-op shop. Nobody left behind. I'm also a D&D player. Never split the party. So the last parable is the cooperative games parable. I love it. For my troubles, the Sanhedrin will go up 1. So I have 3 turns left. We're going to go ahead and spend and get this one. The real reason I'm going to want it is for the reorder. So the bot is going to play 3 more cards. Those 3 cards are going to place these 3 followers. Once they have all their followers out in the Last Supper, the game automatically ends. So I'm going to try to get as many as I can get out there as possible. I don't think I can get all 3. That's unfortunate. But I am going to try the best that I can to maximize these 3 plays, and this reorder could be a good part of that. And so here we go. For the desert and the hills, they're going to score 2 points. They're going to take their follower. And according to the chart, the little part is sticking out down there. They're going to place it right there and also get themselves a parable. They are now up to 4. That is unfortunate. They're going to get 5 parables total. So that's a pretty decent amount of points. Good thing I got all 7 and the point lead. Let's go to the market. The market is going to get me a Mahane card. I know what this is. This is the last one in the deck. Don't think it's going to get played, even though it's real nice. And that you saw that the cards were a little bit fatter in the playthrough. I actually had these set of cards under there, but as you could see, there's no marking. This is the only set of cards that you play with. So at this point, I've gone through all of the cards that have 1 or 2 players on them. All right, this could be bad. Let's see what's going on with the last 10 hedging marker. It is placement of orange, which works out, and also wiping out the bottom row. Orange gets placed right there. That doesn't hurt anybody. Wiping out the bottom row. I had cleared that out. Wow, that couldn't have been better. Great. All right, ticking down, ticking down. We have 1 point scored because they are evacuating everything. And let's go ahead and place this follower right there and also get them a 5th parable. They will not get a 6th. And so reading the rules, this is actually my last turn of the game. So the bot is going to place their last follower and the game ends immediately after that, even though they were the first player. So let's just abandon ship on that last plan and just place a follower. It's the only thing that scores. So then let's go ahead and get a stone and take this follower. The only place I can go that is worth a stone and a fish is right here. That'll at least score me a little bit, a tiny bit. I do get an offering tile for that, which brings me up to 8, which is not bad. I know I haven't been keeping active track of that, but that's how many I have. Last turn of the game. We have the bot is going to have their 1 follower. They're going to score for it, and they're going to place their last follower right here. I was hoping they would place it behind Judas, but no such luck. That is the end of the game. So after everything has been counted up, on my side, it's the parables, the offerings, and the position of the Last Supper. On the bot side, it's the parables and the position of the Last Supper. The bot ended up with 150, and I ended up with 191. Woohoo! That was the most significant win that I've had playing this game. I've played this game about 4 or 5 times already. The first 2 were pretty ugly, but once I figured out some things, able to kind of crack the code a little bit. Let me know if I have played something a little bit dodgy. I happen to have a lot of fun with this, and I'm not as much of a stickler with the rules, but if I did get something major wrong, then let me know, and I will be sure to note that in the comments. But at the end of the day, the whole point of these videos and all the videos that I make are to show the fun of the game. I hope that you enjoyed my commentary. I hope that you've enjoyed, discussion of the parables and some of the stuff that, in terms of talking about Jesus of Nazareth, the historical Jesus, and a lot of the mechanism stuff as well going on in Ierusalem, Anno Domini. For a multiplayer, which I think the game is better as a multiplayer. This game is worth exploring. There's a lot of different mechanisms, so this is only a part of what this game has to offer. Check out a game at all player counts and see if this is the right one for your collection. This is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop, reminding you that we'll see you at the next stop.